3, 2, 1. Alright, hey, hello everyone. We're doing another podcast. It's me, Witch's Brew, with my lovely girlfriend, the other half of Witch's Brew. And we're gonna...
I'm not around.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But we're gonna be talking about quite a few things. One of the biggest ones that we'll be talking about is our favorite victim, as usual. TT will be talking about Pizzagate, the Pizzagate within our community, not the actual conspiracy of Pizzagate. We're also going to be talking about our feelings on a topic that I think a lot of people are going to possibly not enjoy. I don't think it really requires much of a warning or anything like that. We're just going to talk about our feelings on it because we didn't get to talk about our feelings on it because the situation was rushed and not everyone was allowed to have their say. So, and we wanted to wait until the dust settled to get our opinion out, so that way feelings wouldn't be all over the place, and there wouldn't be a witch hunt for saying what we're going to say today if we said it the day of. So first, let's get that one out of the way. We're going to be talking about the Randi situation and the whole Char and Tracy thing. So, babe, if you want to talk about your feels on the subject and such.
Right. This was actually our second attempt at this. We also made one yesterday and then trashed it because I felt as if I was a little out of hand, out of character. I don't know, I just feel really uncomfortable with making connections with people now. I already have established connections with a bunch of people I've met on here, and I feel I can trust them. But now, knowing that there are people in our group, that our supposed group, that are willing to throw 2 friends under the bus to save 2 more. Knowing that information, I no longer feel as if private messages are really private. I think a lot of people are misconstruing the situation of it being about we're letting Trisha win by arguing about this, and that's why they rushed it to make it go away so there wouldn't be a fracture. The real issue was the fact that it happened at all.
And I want to point some things out as well. The viewers, you guys knew about Kelly's mental issues before mine. Yeah, but I always talked about how I was a very paranoid person. And I think people got to remember that Kelly talked about her mental illnesses long before you guys knew what mine were. But I would always talk about how I was always a very paranoid person. Kelly has a hard time with people. She has a hard time trusting people. She has a hard time being around people. And that's why originally she didn't want to be on camera, and that's why she hasn't been much of a voice on the channel to begin with, and that's why she never comments. And people got
the only reason you guys saw me commenting in Randi and B's stream the other night when they were talking about the whole her releasing information to Trisha was because I felt the need to be there and be a vocal party for my friends. Because I'm loyal to my friends, and when I tell them I'm going to be there to back them up, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and people got to remember that there is mental illnesses at play here, and just general personalities. And because I don't necessarily consider my paranoia a mental illness. I consider it part of my personality. And now I'm very paranoid. And it's not like I believe she would ever do it again. That's my personal belief. Is I don't think she would ever do it again. I think she learned her lesson, and she felt the weight of all that. But I don't think enough people had the opportunity to speak, because so many people were rushing this apology. There were so many people in the audience saying, oh, let's move on now, you apologize, let's move on. No, there were people who were affected by this, directly and indirectly. And we were indirectly affected because we didn't have that support from her side when we were going after Trisha. We were supposed to be united front.
For weeks now, I have been holding in negative feelings towards people who did not support us, and I was being told that I was being irrational about the whole situation by my significant other, because he thought he could be friends and close with these people. But I have not been happy with these people since they did not show public support, and it doesn't have to be support in the way of attacking other people for us or in defense of us. It could just be supporting him, because
like my video
don't
to be
know me. Yeah, the way he showed love to be would be the same thing I expected from them to show to him, because I'm not expecting any of these people to show support to me, because I don't talk to them. But I know people talk to him, I know people talk to Wendy, and I know people talk to Lisa.
And that's my biggest thing here. Because I'm not mad at what happened. I'm just hurt, and I'm disappointed, and I'm further disappointed at how the apology video went down. Not so much on Randy's side, but the audience side. We did not have a voice, because so many people were bashing, or dogging rather, not bashing, but like dogging on Sesame for being mad for Char. And then Char came in, and people were dogging on Char for being mad. I mean, guys, we have every right to be angry. You have no right to tell us to stop being angry, or to stop being disappointed or sad. And again, I don't think Randy would ever do it again, and I think it was just a moment of weakness, and I think she honestly thought she was doing the right thing in the moment, and then as soon as it ended, she regretted it. But
now being able to trust her is very it's something people will not be able to do. I feel like she openly said she doesn't think that people will be able to trust her anymore.
So it's not like we're going.
It's true, because people won't be able to trust her anymore, because they have no idea what she could possibly tell people in her moments of weakness.
Yeah, like my paranoia, like I can't control my paranoia, and I'm scared to share information with people now. Like, I mean, I always was, but like the people that I thought, because like Kelly said, I was telling her that she was being irrational to assume that something was going to come of this, and sure enough, I guess I put too much trust in the situation, and it turned out that I was wrong to have that much trust in other people. And it was kind of like the whole, you're supposed to learn after you put your hand over a flame. Like, I can't, it's going to be very hard for me to trust this YouTube community, not just Randy. I mean, and again, like, I don't think she would do it again, but I mean, like, anybody. I mean, there's a specific few who I talk to regularly who I feel like I can still trust, but the people that I don't normally talk to regularly, I now feel like I can't trust, and that's not fair to them, but that's just how I feel. I cannot control that. That's my paranoia, and now Kelly over here, who already had a hard time being in the public, even the internet public, now feels even less comfortable in this YouTube community, because
I feel uncomfortable with him talking to people. I already felt uncomfortable. I would always tell him don't say this to this person, don't say this to people, talk to me first before you tell people, because certain things, because I don't feel like I can trust people, because I've seen so many times people know information and have things leaked to them when it shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, and the whole time, Trisha and Sean were saying people in your group are ratting on you guys and telling things that you're saying to them and stuff, and that they wake up to all these emails all the time of information. And then we find out that someone actually was giving them information or supposed information on their supposed friends. So it's like, okay, well then, who else is doing it then? What else has been said? It makes me uncomfortable with him making friends with people, because I know people talk to him more because he's the more friendly, open,
charismatic. Yeah,
yes, and I find it hard. He's more easygoing than I am. He's more friendly. He's nicer. And that is obviously a weakness in this group, since people are so willing to stab you in the back. And
I also want to point out that this podcast wouldn't have had to happen. Not that like this is, some big exposed video or something. We're just talking about our feelings, and we have every right to talk about our feelings on our channel. But it may not have had to come to this if the audience wasn't rushing her apology so much. If we all had time to talk, because I wasn't talking because I wanted Sesame to get her what she was saying in. I wanted her to have her turn, and I wanted her to be able to leave satisfied with the reply. And then Shar came in, so I wanted the same thing. Then after Shar was there, you guys all just stopped, and it became this Miss Ever Wonderful versus Shar nonsense. Like, well, what about everyone else that was in line? So we have to do this to talk about it when we could have settled it there. We wouldn't be stewing on our feelings right now if we were allowed to talk about it there. Instead, it was rushed and turned into some cage match. Like, it was ridiculous. It should have been that everyone who was affected, even to inadvertently or such, should have been able to talk. That was supposed to be the apology. That was supposed to end everything, and it became this rushed nonsense that turned into a cage match. So now we have to do it like this.
And now it's like, if you talk about it now, because it was rushed off, it would be considered beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Because people rushed it so severely for no reason at all. Because if it happened to you, you would be angry too. And if it happened to your friends, you would be angry. If somebody was sitting, what about if the tables were turned? What if Shar was the one that sent private screenshots, or sent screenshots of private information to Trisha regarding Randi? You guys would be livid and wanting to stick up for her, because it's not right. Every time, I know Randi herself has said that it is not okay to send screenshots to let out screenshots of private information and private messages. So then, the whole time that she's been saying this, she was holding in the fact that she had done it herself. So how can you trust someone who says one thing and does another? Even if it's one time, even if she was so upset after the fact, she still waited a month to say anything. And then it makes me wonder, well then, is that why she wasn't publicly showing love to our videos that everyone was saying that they would be behind? Is that why she wasn't? Because she didn't want it to get out that she had said things about our friends?
Which made our video look less impactful, because we clearly didn't even have the support of our community, who we were defending by putting those videos up.
Yes, that was a video for everyone, for it to be compiled information for everyone in our group to be able to go see and refer to later on in the future when somebody wants to argue with them about Trisha or whatever. They can refer them to those videos and be like, well, checkmate, bitches, because all the information will be right there. But then it didn't even get that support. The people that did support us publicly, not just privately, I love you guys. You guys were awesome. You guys supported us and went after people and that would say stuff about us. You guys defended us in so many different streams against people that would say so much shit about us. And I love you guys for that.
You guys know who you are, and we know who you are. We see it, we hear it. Even if we're not talking in streams, we're usually there listening to it. The thing, let's listen to this part soon, so we can get on to Pizzagate. But the thing to take away, the thing I want people to take away from this is, we should have had time to talk in that live stream. It was rushed. That is why we have to make this podcast. I don't blame Randi for it being rushed, because the majority of the audience were telling her to. And it's going to take time to heal these wounds. And I'm not saying, hey, Randi, jump through this hoop of fire so that way we forgive you. In my case, it's just going to take some time to slowly rebuild that trust, because I can't control my paranoia. I can't control what mental illnesses I have on top of that, and neither could anyone in this group. If you could turn it off and on at your will, let me know how, but I haven't figured it out yet. And it's going to be hard for me to not be paranoid when I'm talking to certain people now. And it's not just her. It's going to be all the people who I did not see publicly, openly support us when we were doing those videos on Trisha. It's pretty much everyone who I didn't see openly support us. I'm going to have a hard time trusting information with, because of this. It's just how my paranoia works. I can't help it. And I just want people to understand that we're not hating on Randi. It's just we have feelings too. And we should have been able to... we
want to stick up for our friends too.
We want to stick up for our friends, and we should have been able to express these feelings we have the night of the apology, not days later.
As for me, I was never friends with Randi. He was friends with her, I guess, on a certain level.
I loved them.
And
they were great.
I thought, I have nothing against B whatsoever. I still appreciate B a lot. I think she is a wonderful person. But as for me, I'm just beyond paranoid to, like, it'll be the death of me, like, stress me out, make me grow gray hairs at 25. Like, that's the kind of stress that I feel. So with all of
she's saying that because I'm 25 and I have gray hair. That's why she said that.
You have no hair. Anyway,
that's why I shave myself.
But the point is, for me, it's dead. I will not feel comfortable with him even being friends with her in the future. I will always refer back to this. That is just the kind of person I am. I do hold things, like, in my head for a long period of time. So no, I will not feel comfortable with her.
It's not even...
you will not see me supporting her in the future.
In Kelly's case, it's not even a willful decision. She has... what was it? What's the... OCP?
I have obsessive compulsive disorder.
Which means she will never be able to let go of this. She will always be thinking
about it.
Along with
anxiety and paranoia.
Yeah, so...
all diagnosed.
All of our issues were in fact diagnosed by actual doctors.
Mine was years ago.
If anyone wants to say otherwise, provide the burden of proof. You have to prove the opposite if you expect any weight to your claims. But anyway, but yeah, so she has a obsessive compulsive personality disorder, right? That's why.
No, obsessive compulsive disorder.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, no P. So her mind fixates on things and sometimes blows it out of proportion.
But as he's saying as of late, it's not out of proportion. It could just be not timed correctly.
Yeah.
Because he has seen me say things or one thing and him not believe it, and then a couple days later believe it.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain she's psychic at this point, but yeah, so she's got that. So she can't control whether she forgives Randy or not in all of this, because she will never be able to forget it. And the anxiety will always be there. It will always feel fresh. That's just how that disorder works. But
There's actually a quote that I saw today that I think fits this perfectly. Hold on. I have to find it.
Should have.
It's right here. It's right here. I know it is.
Okay.
Yeah, here it is. It's the axe forgets, the tree remembers. Meaning that a person who harms another or borrows from someone will often forget, but the person who was harmed or borrowed from will always remember.
Mm-hmm. And that's the perfect thing to end this segment on. And now let's talk about Pizzagate. First let's say
I want to say I'm not real, and you're a serial killer.
Yes. First let's explain where this Pizzagate thing was coined. You said it was Jamie, right?
Jamie on Twitter.
Jamie on Twitter.
She's fucking hilarious on Twitter.
Called it Pizzagate, the whole pepper on pizza conspiracy, and it was hilarious. So first, So we coined. She coined that term, so that's what we're gonna call it, because I think that's what everyone should call it. But yes, according to Trisha, Kelly's not real, despite having
fantasy.
Despite being on numerous videos, many podcasts,
many people have talked to her.
And she's been on camera before. And yes, she is her own person on Twitter and such. But no, she's a fantasy. I wished for her, and only a wish will make her disappear. So good luck with that. And I am apparently Norman Bates. I live in my grandmother's basement, but I killed her.
You take her social security checks.
I take her social security checks, and I live off that in her basement. First off, real quick, I'm not gonna deny any murders I may have committed, but what I will say is, if I had this house to myself, I would not be in the basement.
Right.
Okay.
Why would you fix the basement?
I would find, I don't know, any room upstairs.
I live in the fucking kitchen, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah. But yeah. So just getting that nonsense out of the way. This is the kind of stuff she comes up with, and I know all you guys who are going to be listening to this understands that. But
it's fucking hilarious.
It was nonstop laughter on this side. And then let's actually get into the pizza. Let's get into the Pizzagate thing. First off, real quick cooking lesson for you guys. To make pepperoni, there's ground pepper in there, okay? To make pizza sauce in general, pepper is always added, including in the Domino's pizza sauce. There is pepper. Look it up. You all have fingers. You all think for yourselves, maybe. It's there. Pepper is in almost everything. If you're going to order from a chain who doesn't make their own sauce or pepperoni on site, you're always going to get pepper in it. They do not mix their own sauce, and they do not make their own pepperoni in Domino's. It is a chain. It gets sent to them.
And people posted screenshots of her recipes that say add a little pepper. If she is deathly allergic to pepper, you cannot pick and choose how much pepper you consume. You are deathly allergic. You will die. Yeah,
just like the peanut allergen. Even the slightest amount.
Smelling it sometimes.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes even just smelling it will get a reaction.
Also, in her stream, she said Sean eats pepper in his stuff. Okay, if she is deathly allergic, wouldn't kissing him after he had pepper in his food irritate her?
Yeah, if you were deathly allergic to ground black pepper, you would not have it in your house. Added to that, I mean, that's why literally products have to say made in a peanut-free factory, is because even just being in the location of something you're allergic to could set you off. Added to that, according to the black pepper allergen, the proteins in black pepper are the same proteins that are in white pepper, never heard of that before, but also in green pepper. And we've seen her eat raw green pepper before. The same proteins that people are allergic to in black pepper is the same in green pepper. If you are allergic to green pepper, you are allergic to black pepper. It is as simple as that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So she's obviously allergic to green pepper, which we saw her eat before. So just how allergic is she really? If you noticed in her live stream, when she went to Sean, she asked him, "Did you taste black pepper in that?" Which tells me she tasted the black pepper, which is why she started to act like she was having a reaction to it. Was because she actually tasted it and she was like, "Oh crap." And so she started acting like she had a reaction. Now, anyone who thinks that that was a real reaction, go ahead and look up allergic reaction and see what the crap actually happens when you have allergic reaction to something that you've consumed. Okay? People say, you can't make that up with her ridiculous reaction. Go look it up. Do some research for yourself. Stop believing everything you see on YouTube and go do some research. Good Lord. Use your brain.
And I would like to say, I don't like Sean really at all. I think he's stupid. But if he really has PTSD, and the reason they don't sleep in the same bed together is because he has nightmares and will wake up in a frenzy, her waking him up constantly is going to get a bad reaction one day. She needs to respect him and his post-traumatic stress disorder from serving our country, which she says she respects so much. She was waking him up, saying on the phone with the police, saying she's having a reaction. He could have woken up completely horrified because she's running around saying, I'm on the phone with the police, I'm having a bad reaction, I can't breathe. She said she can't breathe, her throat is closing up. I have chronic nightmares. When I wake up, if I'm being woken up by something, I'm in a frenzy. I am freaking out. I do not know what's going on. I cannot breathe. He has seen it so many times with me where I cry, I freak out. He wakes up paranoid too. He wakes up in a jump, like...
Yeah, she wakes me up. I literally jump and I do like a kind of,
intake. And I have like a way more severe reaction than he does to being woken up by things. I freak out. Yep. So for her to keep doing that to him and keep fucking with him, that's so disrespectful.
And I mean, I don't really mind Sean, and I know a lot of people didn't like, even when I was friendly with TT and Sean, I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that I would compliment Sean and stuff like that. I really don't have a problem with him. I mean, he could clap back all he wants, that's whatever. He's defending his wife. And I understand a lot of people say that he's just as bad as TT. I think he's a little less bad as TT, but let's remember the situation he's also stuck in. He's stuck living in with her. I mean, he can't divorce her because he's already losing 40% of his paycheck to his ex. She's literally going to take another 40% out of him. Like, he's stuck with her. So he's just trying to...
As Savage said, it's cheaper to keep her.
Exactly, it's cheaper to keep her. And unfortunately, keeping her means he has to be on her side. He has to play along and all that stuff. I think his reaction to her waking her up, which was, taking his phone and not yelling at her, but like being like, "What the heck are you doing?" First off, the "what the heck are you doing" is, I think, absolutely normal. Him taking his phone,
entirely justified.
Yeah, I think him taking his phone off of her.
Her taking his phone
is completely, like, she should consider herself lucky, okay? Because it could have been way worse when she woke him up like that. It could have been way worse. And Another thing that I want to point out, that other people have pointed out, is if you watch her stream, I don't know if it's still up, I know a lot of us downloaded it, if you watch a stream, after Sean takes it, and then it comes back live for a couple seconds, where she was just sitting there waiting for the ambulance, a lot of us don't think she realized that it was back on, because she was just sitting there, she wasn't talking, she wasn't smiling, she just sat there and she was looking around. Isn't it kind of weird how she was able to breathe just fine during that moment? You do know allergic reactions get worse as time goes on. There's no reason why her breathing and her reaction should be fine. And added to that, take a look at how she's acting during her reaction. First off, she takes time to fix her hair on camera. Okay? Who's going to do that if they can't breathe? I can't remember.
She props up her phone so people can see her having a stink reaction.
I can't remember the last time when I choked that I decided to fix my hair. Like, you're in panic mode. You are not thinking about your hair. Secondly, she closes her mouth a lot. If you cannot breathe, you're going to keep your mouth open and you're going to be breathing out of your mouth, because it's a lot harder, and not a lot harder, but it's harder to breathe through your nose than it is through your mouth. Okay, they share the same airway, but your nose is smaller, so you get less air in and takes longer to push that air out. If you can't breathe and you're having a hard time breathing, you are going to be breathing through your mouth because of that bigger airway. And she closes her mouth so much and breathes through her nose. You're not going to do that if you feel your windpipe closing. You know what people do when they're choking? Their mouth is open. Okay? It's open for a reason. They're trying to breathe through their mouth because their nose isn't going to get enough air through.
And I notice when a lot of people are choking, they put their hand on their chest because, I don't know, it's just like a reaction. You put your hand in the area where you're having problems.
Yeah.
No, she has 2 phones in her hands.
Mm-hmm. Just said
she's thinking normally. On Twitter, Jamie also said, because she talked about her blood pressure increasing or something, and Jamie pointed out, when you're having an allergic reaction, your blood pressure goes down. She's saying, but your blood pressure goes up when you're having an anxiety attack, which was very clearly what she was doing. She was psyching herself out to make herself seem worse off than she actually was.
That's right, and it does not take long. Like, what was it? From the moment she starts eating the pizza to the moment she starts having her reaction is like, 20 minutes or something like that? It is way too long. The second you consume something you're allergic to, that is when it breaks out, and it breaks out fast. And you see it in your lips, you see it in your face, you see it in your throat, and you do not have the amount of time to do what she was doing. Honestly, I think if it took 20 minutes for the amount of time
it was mild.
Yeah, it was very mild. And I don't know how allergic reactions work. I don't know if you could have a mild reaction or if it's just always extreme. But one thing's for sure is I think it's just a spice thing. I think pepper just swells her mouth a little bit. This cinnamon does that to me. I'm not allergic to cinnamon, but cinnamon will do that to me where my mouth swells a little bit when I eat it. And you could kind of feel your tongue and the inside of your cheeks get a little, swollen. And I'm not allergic to cinnamon. It's just a spice thing. Spice will have a reaction on you sometimes because it's spice. And pepper is spice. Cinnamon is spice. It's just what happens. She's not having an allergic reaction.
I just think that she wasted resources. I think she did it for attention. I think she... like everybody else is saying, Sean's going away, so she wants to try to keep him there to get attention. So she's pretending to be something that she isn't.
And yes, I honestly think that's the case here. And then the sinking.
And you wouldn't have to do this if his children didn't hate you so much. You would be allowed to go.
Yeah. And, let's be honest, you have how many supposed pizza orders coming in the last 2 days, and then there's a stinking pizza order waiting for her at the door just as she's calling 911. That's just way too much a coincidence. There's just no way. It had to have been planned. Seriously, okay, she's anxious. She doesn't want Sean to leave. So when you're stressed and when you have anxiety and stuff like that, a lot of people will eat unhealthily. Like, they will just eat. I mean, I'm sure she's just ordering a bunch of pizza and just eating it because of how stressed she is, thinking that Sean's going to be leaving her for 7 days, or in 7 days. I don't know which one it is. Either way, and then seriously, like, the pizza guy is there just as she's calling 911. I mean, come on, that is way too much of a coincidence. How could anyone by accident time it that well that as soon as she opens the door, the dude's there?
It was really funny though. She walks out and she goes, "No, please leave. I'm having another stroke. Go. I'm not gonna pay you." He's like, "What?"
Yeah, the poor guy. He doesn't know what he just walked into. He doesn't realize how close to death he came just by being on her doorstep.
Yeah, he went to a psychopath's apartment.
Yeah.
She's so fucking hilarious, dude. And she doesn't even do it to be hilarious. When she's trying to be funny, she's so boring. But when things happen to her, I'm a horrible person for thinking or saying this, but it is so funny to me when she's struggling. She is sitting there like, "Oh no, not the pepper. Do you see my chest? Do you see my cheeks? I'm having a reaction. Look." And then she puts out her tongue. Her tongue's white as fuck. That means you haven't brushed your teeth in a while, bitch. Brush your tongue. Give it something. She wants to talk about everybody else's health. Wash your fucking mouth. Stop eating all this shit. If she really is the one that ordered all this fucking pizza and shit, then she's really not sticking to her veganism that she was proposing on the fucking Twitter account.
And her GoFundMe account.
And her, veganist and her dude. And how can...
Or was that Patreon?
She's saying the people are so obsessed with her. She literally, every time someone makes a video about her, within 2 minutes of it being up, she's making a live stream about it, and then goes on for the rest of the night.
She is so obsessed with us.
She searches her own name. She said it on her live stream. She was looking up Truthfully Trisha on YouTube and was just looking at people's things about her. Like,
just so...
how into yourself are you that you have to look up things about you? And they're never good. I bet you they're never good. Yeah, there are no Truthfully Trisha supporting videos.
Yeah, I don't look up my name. I don't look up my channel name. I don't look up, I don't even watch these live streams. I watched her pizza one because Kelly was watching and she just kept laughing, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch.
I cannot stop.
But like, I don't even watch it when I know they're talking about me because I don't care. Like, it's whatever. Like, I don't understand how someone could actually be actively searching their own name on YouTube every day. Like, good lord.
She thinks that, okay, I'm subscribed to her, and I watch her live streams. I think she's fucking hilarious the way she goes on and on thinking she's hurting somebody's feelings. When we're all watching, sitting there watching her, laughing at her, and talking amongst each other, laughing at her. We are laughing at you. You are stupid. You were like this grand, like, you were this grand manipulator, holding everybody's strings, thinking you're some kind of puppet master ruling everybody's life. They're so obsessed with you. Everybody's husband wants you. Everybody is in love with you. Everyone wants to be a lesbian for you. Girl, not everyone is confused about their sexuality, and not everyone's miserable in their own marriage. Only you.
Yeah, not everyone's a homewrecker, Trisha.
Not everyone has to go and steal somebody else's man. That's you. Not everyone is miserable with their partner. That's you. Every other day you're saying that Sean doesn't love you, and then when he's home, I guess he loves you then, right? But then you want to argue with him every 2 minutes. You are so stinky pissed that everybody else seems to be content in their relationships. You are so stinky pissed that people do not give you the support that they give other people. But you do not seem to get that you drive people off with your ugliness, dude. You are such an ugly person.
Yeah, and apparently when, was it 2 days ago when she was live streaming about me or whatever, she probably thought I was watching and, like, getting peed off over here listening to her. I was recording the parodies I was making of her at the time, so I mean, I don't watch her. Like I said, I don't watch her to begin with. So even if someone was telling me what she was saying, I wouldn't be watching it because I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't watch them. I watch them, and then I relay information to him because it's funny and I want to laugh about it with him. But just a few days ago, they were sitting there watching his psych evaluation video and making fun of his mental disorders that he was diagnosed with.
And let's remember.
Y'all are pathetic as fuck.
Let's remember something real quick. Sean says he doesn't mess with anyone's mental illness. He doesn't F with that, as he puts it on his vlogs. But then he's making fun of someone's illnesses rather, and then Trisha, who's supposed to be a mental health advocate, is going to be making fun of someone's mental illnesses on live stream. So let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember her Catch a Bully Facebook group, and how she said that all these things were photoshopped? If she's able to make fun of someone's mental health when she says she's a mental health advocate, is it really that far-fetched to think she's bullying people when she had a To Catch a Bully Facebook group? She's a hypocrite, and she's always been a hypocrite, and that's all she's going to be.
She doesn't like when people say that she doesn't have a mental illness or that she didn't have cancer, but she'll sit there and tell you what you don't have or what you do have. She sat there and said he doesn't have bipolar disorder, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, he probably took a test online. Her and Sean sat there and said it. Well, you know what, guys? I don't even believe that you guys are really married still. I believe they're just staying with each other for appearances because he don't know how to get rid of her. I bet in his head they aren't even married anymore. She's just there. You could take her or leave her, really, like anybody else could. We sit there and watch her because she's pathetic and she just is entertained. She's entertainment when we're bored. That's what the fuck she is.
Honestly, she makes us feel better about our lives because we see how terrible hers is.
Yeah, for like the longest time, I thought I was like over the edge, irrational, and a little bit crazy. The way I react to things is a little bit over the top sometimes. But this bitch, her whole life is about being mean to people and about trying to validate herself by hurting others. She makes fun of people's looks. She makes fun of people's lives. She makes fun of people's financial situations. She makes fun of people's kids, their parents, their dead relatives. She makes fun of people's relationships because she's a petty, jealous bitch.
But then she'll cry if someone does it to her.
Yes. And then she wants to sit there today and make fun of Ron's kid. Wants to sit there today and make fun of his autism, make fun of Ron and calling him a bad parent. She makes fun of our relationship. Yeah, she makes fun of my boyfriend.
Let's talk about Ron real quick, too. Like, first off, he does well. He's got a successful YouTube channel. It doesn't take that many subscribers to make a decent penny off the ad revenue. On top of that, he sells t-shirts. On top of that, he has a sponsor. He gets paid to advertise for these people. He is making way more money than stinking Trisha's YouTube channel and Trisha's Social Security combined. Like, he's making way more money than she is.
Yeah, she sits there and says that he's living off the government. Bitch, you're on disability. That is from the government.
Plus, he has a kid. If he could get any kind of government support to help his kid, any good parent would take that government assistance to help their kid. It's not like it's going to him, it's going towards his kid.
Yeah, she sits there and says, why doesn't Ron go to school to better himself? He has to work. Mm-hmm. He has to work to provide for his family. He does not have a husband to sit there and pay his bills for him and to get insurance off of for his kids. He has to do it all on his own. He is a single parent.
And you'll notice that this is always her go-to insult when she talks about guys. So the same thing. Oh, they have a pinky D. And then she talks about how they don't work. It's always the same. It's always the same things. She is just a broken record. That is it. It's always the same insults.
First she did it about skaters, and she did it about you. Now she's doing it about Ron. She's also said things about her own husband having shitty underwear.
She did it to Takedown Man as well.
Yeah, she called Takedown Man a pedophile and a rapist.
As well as not working and not supporting her kid, his kid rather. Like, she does it to every guy that opposes her, she'll always say the
and
same
then she'll
things.
say that they're obsessed with her and they want her. She
Mhm.
also does it about women. She says they're obsessed with her and they want her. Honey, nobody wants you. You have to go and wreck other people's marriages.
Yeah, Trisha, you're the one who's YouTubing yourself. I think you're the one that's obsessed.
You are so obsessed. You want everybody's man. You want everybody else's life because you're miserable in your own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. And I really think you should find a consistent therapist.
So, final thoughts. TT, you crazy. And you
final
need...
thoughts. Pizzagate
Okay.
was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Pizzagate was funny. To finish my closing thoughts, TT, you crazy, and you just need to relax. Relax, Trisha. Calm down and relax.
Also, also, I'm not real, and I'm actually him using a voice changer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not real. I love watching people make fun of Trisha, and what was I gonna say? I can't remember. I started laughing when you started doing that. I don't know what I was gonna say.
So yeah, and also I'm Norman Bates. So just relax, Trisha. If you think I'm a serial killer, the worst thing you could do is egg on a potential serial killer, and after doxing yourself many times online, it's not smart. For your own safety, I would avoid doing that in the future. And just a quick reminder: you only become a serial killer after you've killed 3 people. So keep that in mind when you call someone a serial killer. Egg them on, and then have your address out for everyone to see. Like, you use your head. You have a family. Don't be an idiot and relax.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Okay.
It's not the same way I was gonna say it before. But Trisha, you are a messy hoe, and the next time you think about going on a live stream, take it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye.